Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-week World Currencies, Stock Markets and Commodities Deep Dive for Friday, May 16th, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Key currency pairs showed mixed results against the greenback. The euro and Swiss franc both weakened notably against the dollar, each down about 0.7%. The yen maintained a mixed negative trend against the dollar, despite 4 consecutive weekly gains. Week-to-date returns show the euro leading declines against the dollar, down 0.74%. The sterling and Aussie dollar showed more modest movements, each shifting less than 0.2% for the week. Looking at longer-term performance, the yen stands out with a 12.7% three-year gain against the dollar. The Swiss franc shows particular weakness, down 16.5% over the same period. 10-year returns remain modest for most pairs. Among Asian currencies, the yuan weakened 0.42% against the dollar. The rupee showed a mixed positive trend, while the kiwi recorded its third consecutive weekly decline against the greenback. Short-term returns reveal the New Zealand dollar weakening most significantly, down 0.48% for the week. The offshore yuan showed relative resilience in May, declining just 0.82% month-to-date. In decade-long performance, the Indian rupee has depreciated most significantly, with a 34.9% decline against the dollar. The Singapore dollar has shown remarkable stability, dropping just 1.6% over the same period.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Indonesia led this week, rising 5.6% with mixed positive trend. S&P 500 gained 5.2%, showing strong upward momentum. Taiwan advanced 4.3%, marking its fourth consecutive weekly gain. The monthly returns show Taiwan leading with a 13.8% gain. S&P 500 follows with 7.2% monthly return. Indonesia has gained 6.2% this month, while Norway is up 5.6%. Looking at longer-term performance, S&P 500 shows impressive returns with a 180% 10-year total return. India and Taiwan follow with 79.6% and 64.6% 10-year returns respectively. Indonesia lags with minus 29.5% over the same period. Among underperforming markets, Thailand declined 2.3% this week with mixed negative trend. Poland fell 1.8% despite hitting a new one-year high last week. Germany edged up slightly, recording a new all-time high. On a year-to-date basis, Poland shows remarkable strength, up 45.3%. Germany has gained 28.4%, while Thailand lags with an 8.8% decline. Israel maintains steady performance with a 7.6% gain. In the 10-year view, Poland and Germany show positive returns of 14.3% and 34.1% respectively. Philippines and Thailand both declined, down 33.8% and 29.4% respectively over the decade.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Gold futures closed at 3,205.30, down 138.70, a notable 4.1% decline. Aluminum futures stood out with a 4.9% gain, closing at 2,422.75. Copper futures marked its third consecutive weekly decline. Year-to-date returns show gold futures leading with a 21.4% gain. Copper futures follows with a 14.1% increase. Meanwhile, aluminum futures is down 3.9% for the year, showing the most volatility in May with a 5.7% gain. Long-term performance shows gold futures with impressive 10-year returns of 161.6%, averaging 10.1% annually. Silver futures follows with 84.2% over the decade. Aluminum futures shows more modest gains of 22.8%. Natural gas futures experienced a significant drop of 12.1% to 3.33. Heating oil futures rose 3.5% to 2.14. Brent crude and crude oil futures both posted gains while showing sideways movement. Month-to-date returns show strength in energy markets, with Brent crude up 6.8% and heating oil gaining 6.9%. Natural gas remains relatively flat, with a modest 0.2% increase despite its weekly decline. The decade-long performance of energy futures shows mixed results. Natural gas leads with a 10.5% total return, while Brent crude shows a slight decline of 3%. Heating oil and gasoline futures posted modest gains. Live cattle futures hit a new all-time high at 212.30, marking its fifth consecutive weekly gain. Feeder cattle also achieved a record high. Class 2I milk futures showed upward volatility, rising 4.2%. Corn futures extended its losing streak to 5 weeks. Wheat futures hit a new one-year low, while rough rice also touched yearly lows despite a slight 0.39% gain. Soybean futures maintained its strong upward trend. In grain futures, corn futures declined 6.75 to 443, marking its fifth consecutive weekly decline. Wheat futures hit a new one-year low at 516.50. Rough rice futures also recorded a new yearly low at 12.76. Looking at long-term performance, corn futures showed a 10-year gain of 21%, while wheat futures and soybean futures both posted 10-year returns around 10%. Oat futures performed better with a 38% return over the decade. In soft commodities, cocoa surged 18.9% to 10,927, while orange juice rose 9.7%. Coffee futures fell sharply by 5.7%, and cotton futures declined 2.2% in its third consecutive weekly drop. Year-to-date performance shows coffee futures up 14.3%, while orange juice has declined nearly 49%. Cocoa maintained strong momentum with a 23% gain this month, despite being down 6.4% for the year. Over the decade, cocoa led soft commodities with a 249% return, followed by coffee futures at 164%. Orange juice returned 125%, while sugar showed more modest gains of 36%.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-week World Currency, Markets and Commodities episode. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.